Hello YouTube fans, here again. And I figure why not, as I remember talking about the video Nastis. I'm now going to talk about the cycles, the PPD list, was it the DDP list, so I said PP, I don't know why. The DDP list, I meant to say, and what was the cycles, and some were not. So we're going on the film, a bit of the history of the film, but I'm trying not to go too long or it'll be a fucking epic. So why not? This one has to be the Dan Dad, not the Dadette, the Dan Dad, meaning the most oldest one out of all the video nasties. Come out in, believe it or not, it come out in 1963. I remember reviewing this film, and this film makes Psycho look like a Walt Disney film. I say it again, it makes makes Psycho, I meant to say, look like a Walt Disney film. This was called Blood Feast. That's right, Blood Feast. You could say the first blood splat film. It was basically based on a serial killer killing loads of beautiful women and sacrificing them to an Egyptian god. And the iconic scene, as the scene where he breaks in, he falls his dirt on the bed, he literally pulls a tongue out, blood all over the face. Some of the effects now are a bit dated. You can see it's red fucking sets up or red fucking, the blood. You can definitely tell the blood's fake. But for its time, it was pretty brutal. The scene with the tongue getting pulled out was definitely brutal. A lot of people remember that iconic scene. There's a scene where he rips a poor woman to death. You can now get it uncut on DVD in this country. I shit you not. But again, like most, you probably have to order it on Amazon. But you can now get it uncut. But back in the day of the video, it was actually uncut. Well, not uncut, I was about to say. I had moved to Tamra, so sorry about that. Back in the day of VHS, I meant to say. Yep, it was one of the video nasties. It was notorious, it was nasty, and so on. Then we go into 1968. There's two here. One of them I'm going to say is had two cycles. It was called the Tassley one, or it was called Blood Rights. It's based on the olden times. And this is like a funny one. This is a oops. What I mean by a oops, it's one of them films that if you had a couple of beers, you've had your mates around, you'd be laughing your fucking ass off. You'd be laughing your ass off because they're tying up, it's so bad. It's like, it's like if you go to a campaign or you go to what's a theatre show and you're watching someone doing Shakespeare, but they overact it. That's what you get. It's not wooden acting, it's overacting. There's a difference. And the daddy get a possession, they're all getting killed off in really horrible ways. But again, you look at some of the slasher films, it's just never like that. There's one bit you feel is a bit disturbing. There's a bit where a guy kills a rabbit. Whether they killed that rabbit for real or it was special effects. All I can say is I hope it was special effects. You don't need to kill an animal to make a film for Shot Value. Saying that, that's your cannibal films. This other hand, it wasn't a cannibal film, but you could definitely see it was brutal and it was vicious. And actually, some of the death scenes are like chain compared to what you see nowadays. But that was Blood Rights or the Dastardly ones. It was shot in 1968, and yep, it was a video nasty. Then we get to Night of the Bloody Apes. Again, shot in 1968. I wouldn't say it was a bad film, but it does lie to you. It says Night of the Bloody Apes. There's only one ape in it. It's a scientist. He fucks around with an ape, half man, half ape. The effects are like, you're talking 68, so you get what the effects are going to be like. You don't know it's a guy dressed up as a fucking ape. Yeah, there's some few bits of dory bits in it, little bits of graphicness in it, but compared to most films, again, tight tamed. You can get it on DVD, but just like most, very hard. Blood Rights, you'd have to get it on Amazon if you wanted that as well. Then, this one is definitely banned even today, which is funny because you can find it on YouTube. If it's still on YouTube, I don't know. I remember watching it on YouTube, the uncut one. That being the first SS experiment tamp being Luftamp 7. Again, 1968. I saw this and I thought it was a comedy. Honest, compared to most of the other Champ films, like the SS Experiment Champ films, this one was actually entertained. There are some torts of bits in it. There's a bit of extra so bums and legs. Don't show any tits because of the error. Leave that to the later ones. But the acting's hilarious. There's one guy supposed to be a German soldier, right? That's weird, right? A German soldier. And he's hilarious. He is funny as fuck. He's fucking hilarious. So, the end of the day, this German Nancy soldier comes in and he really overacts. Again, he's not rude, but he overacts. This is Hitler, and we are the master race, and you'll do what I say. So I did that. I did that on purpose, but his acting is even more than how I've just done it. It says that his acting is OTT. His acting's over the top. So that's like hilarious. Then, like I said, it's basically there. I feel a bit where they stick this woman on a wooden spike, like a bit made out of wood like that, but like a table made out of wood down there, and she's got to stand on it down there. So I put it in detail. I gotta admit, I felt that was a bit thingy, but compared to the other SS Champ films, this was like mild. I'm surprised even today it's banned in this country. I am surprised. I find it funny because you can find it on YouTube, totally uncut, remastered. But even today it is banned. Now we're getting into the 70s. Why not? This one you can get on DVD, but it's off print. Whether it's uncut or not, it's a different story. You can actually find it on YouTube uncut anyway, but I'm not sure you can get it uncut on DVD. If you can, that's date. 1971, A Bay of Blood. I know again this had a lot of different titles, but it's commonly in this country known as Bay of Blood. I actually like this film. I like it. I don't get why. I can understand probably for its time it was banned. But the funny thing is, right, some of the murder scenes in this would later be used in slasher films, and it was commonly known in 1981. Friday the 13th Part 2, some of the death scenes are very similar to what you see in this. A couple making out on a bed, speared in the back, Friday the 13th Part 2. Someone getting a bissetti in the face, Friday the 13th Part 2. And there's a few other common death scenes in it, was used in other slasher films. And the ironic thing is, when this was announced, the one that directed Friday the 13th Part 2, said he never saw this film, never saw it whatsoever. So it's one of them, you know what I mean? It's very interesting that most of the death scenes were similar to what you see in Friday the 13th Part 2. Again, originally it was banned, it was a video nasty, but today's era it's changed. It's changed, and some of the death scenes are quite good. I like the naked days, which are nice to look at, the one that gets a throat slit. That's like a cool death scene. And for its time, it was above its time. You know what I mean? The blood, the dull, the violence. And that's what I liked about it. I liked the fact it was bloody, it was violent, it didn't hold back. I like it, and I think it's a very good film. The only bit I didn't like was the stupid fucking ending where you got kids, mummy and daddy, and you got music that sounds like fucking Sesame Street. La 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 la. La 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 la. I'm not even exaggerating that. That's how it goes. The kids running down the hill. You expect to hear the theme tune to fucking Little House on the Prairie or something. That bit I felt was stupid. I like the fact you got the same dude who's sadly no longer with us. The one who we all remember being the Bond dude in Thunderball, the original Thunderball, Donnie Mo. She's actually in this as well. And like I say, it's a good one, this. It's definitely a good one. And I'm happy you can now get it. It's very hard and it's off print. It's still on YouTube, uncut. Check it out. Then we get to 1972. This is the very first cannibal film. The very first cannibal film. That being, again, it has two different titles. Man from Deep River or Deep River Saphitis. I might not be a bit right and I might be wrong. I think over here it's called Deep Saphitis. I prefer Man from Deep River. Now there are some bits that is Tim down in this country. You can get it now on DVD in this country. It was a video nasty. It was banned, blah blah blah. But the bits they've cut out is the animal cooter. I don't mind that, to be honest. That's something when it comes to censorship, I don't mind that, because I've got the uncut one, which is Man from Deep River, right? And there are some bits that even I find is hard to see. Like there's a scene where they kill a soccer child, they stab it in its head, it's got blood spurting out. There's a bit where you got a snake and a ferret, and you see blood and you see them fighting. Was it really needed? The worstest bit for me, apart from cutting a monkey's head off, the worstest bit is a bit where they've got a jolt, right? You know, a jolt, and they slit its throat, and you hear it screeching in agony, it's choking on its own blood. Even I were like that bit, even I couldn't watch that bit, even I felt that was a bit too much. But that's the only bits that timmed down in this country is the animal cooler, which is understandable for a lot of these cannibal films. But I don't really mind this one, actually. I don't mind it. It's more like an adventure film. It's more like a romance film. And the early cannibal films, if you get past the animal cooler, the early ones were more like jungle adventure films. When you get to films that say like Cannibal Holocaust or Cannibal Fairlock, that's when they got a bit more to the bone. But this one, I didn't really mind it. Compared to most of the other cannibal films, that one and the next one I'm going to do, that be, I'll do this one more. I'm going to break this up because I'll be fair for talking about video nasties. The next one was for 1977. And that being, if I remember right there, trying to think of it, The Lost Cannibal World. That's right, The Lost Cannibal World. Now, the same director what doing is this, funny enough, did Cannibal Holocaust. And before I forgot, and the one before that, being The Man from Deep River, the same director who did that did Cannibal Fairlock, or Eaten Alive as well. And like I say, this one's a lot more mild. It's not as brutal as that one. Same as this one, being The Lost Cannibal World. The same producers were doing as Cannibal Holocaust, funny enough, did this. And again, to say the lies, it says it's a true story. It isn't. It isn't. They say it a lot to market the film. And again, there's a lot of animal cruelty in it, a lot of killing animals, was it really needed? But if you get past it, and you get past the really gory bit where they killed a woman in it, and the thing with these cannibal films was you had this woman who half paid a native, and her name was called P.P. Lane. Don't be right under the name, T.T. or P.P. Lane, right? So the end of the day, she's in this as well, which is fine for her because she's had a boob job, and this people they're looking for oil. Some of them get killed, one of them gets lost who comes into it later on, one of them gets kidnapped by his natives. I love the bit where they got him on rope and they're chopping down this rope. I thought that's pretty fucked up. He escapes with the beautiful P.P. Lane. He meets up with his mate who he thought was dead and he wasn't. And again, this is more like a jungle. It's more of an adventure film. And you can now get it on DVD. Again, it was a video nasty in 1977. But again, animal cruelty cut out. And again, I don't mind that. I don't mind that bit of censorship because they didn't really need to kill animals to make a film. I say it, but again, I'm not sticking up for it. It was a different era. It was a different time, right? Have to say in that era, they don't never ever ever do that ever again in any film and they kill an animal. They never do it ever again. That's why I'm not sticking up for it. I'm just saying it was a different era and it was a different time. And I'm for that. I don't think there was any reason to go kill an animal for shot value to make a film. Some of it's wildlife footage where an animal's eating another animal. You can see that in a wildlife program. But other bits were just shot for shot value. You know what I mean? But they're a few of them. I'll probably tie on with ones like The Mountain of the Cannibal Dogs, I Spit on You, Dave, Almost Forgotten One, The Last House on the Left, which was Wes Craven's first one. And as I go on about the video nasty era. But there's all on the DDP list. Some of them you can now get. Again, some timmed down, some you cannot get anymore. Totally banned in this country even today. But I'll be forever doing that, so I'll probably talk about more on the way. But into them, be smart, be safe, and hopefully have a happy Halloween.